Government propaganda and conspiracy theories. First, propaganda is defined as information of a biased or misleading nature. Synonyms for propaganda are promotion, advertising, publicity. Propaganda use became rampant by governments pre-World War I. Unfortunately, the government of the United States seen how effective propaganda worked. The U.S. government used mathematical theories to justify its use. Believing, like in math, the ends justifies the means. The problem with this form of thinking is it leaves out morality. Humanity and morality can never be expressed in a mathematical expression. It's understandably that in an emergency and quick action is needed, that propaganda seems the best way to unite a nation. And one could convince themselves that the ends justifies the means. Here's the problem: whatever crisis was, it will eventually be overcome. And the crisis will be entered into the history books. And eventually someone will do an in-depth investigation. Inconsistent facts will bring more investigations, and finally the citizens will feel betrayed by its government. If continued, propaganda will become half-truths placed on top of more half-truths. This is a card house waiting to be toppled over, by a hostile government using covert actions to further weaken a government. Right now, a U.S. against them attitude exists, between the government and citizens. And conspiracy theories are running wild, with many of them being valid. Because of rampant use of propaganda in the past. Even if the government tells the truth, no one is sure it is. How can the U.S. government expect foreign nations to trust our intentions and respect our people, when its own citizens don't trust its intentions, and the U.S. government doesn't respect its own citizens? It's time for truth, at any and all costs. Politicians must remember their citizens, not to be served by the citizens, but to serve the citizens. If you valued your community, and considered yourself an American, and loved what it stands for, and held public office, could you endorse something like the 2009 housing bailout, where $700 billion was allocated to save the banks, car manufacturers, insurance companies, and realtors? Tax breaks given to corporations, while 7 million homes repossessed, which equals 18 million Americans homeless. Or 10% of homeowners at that time. Who after the foreclosure still was responsible for the debt owed, and was also responsible for the $700 billion that the government put on our national debt. If you held public office and had sworn an oath to uphold and protect, we the people, could you look me in the eyes, and tell me the best interest of citizens was cared for? I love my country. I love the fact I can openly make such harsh statements against my government. I love what this country has done. I love that I can be honest, and to prove it, here it goes. It's my fault my government uses propaganda. It's my fault that my fellow countrymen can't trust what it says. It's my fault it doesn't respect its citizens. It's my fault that my government takes better care of a corporation than a human being. Maybe if we stopped lying about how perfect our fake Facebook life is, if we stopped telling everyone how smart we are, and how obvious someone else's mistake was, and stopped raging how we have never messed up. If I did something real, and simple, go to a city hall meeting, and take my children with me to set an example, then I could go home and post something that I actually did. And when I looked myself in the mirror, I would be able to respect the person I am, and not hate myself for not trying.